Hi everyone, I've just come out of yoga and I felt inspired to record a very quick video because I had a bit of an important lesson and it's a little bit interesting as well. So yogis, you might be able to relate to this. Yogis, I don't really call myself a yogi, but by the way, if you've not done yoga, it's one of the best things you can ever do for your body. There's not much it doesn't do for the body. It strengthens your whole musculoskeletal system, so your muscles, your bones, your joints, your ligaments, your tendons, everything. It massages all the internal organs, it connects to your mind, takes you out of fight or flight, relaxes the nervous system, so you're triggering healing, hormones, all sorts of crazy stuff and awesome stuff happens in yoga. Anyway, that aside, I was in this yoga session today and it was really quite interesting because normally there's a routine. There's always a routine. We were like 40, 50 people in the room and there's a routine that everyone follows. And there's a guy behind me who I can see in the mirror in front of me pulling an entirely different sequence to what I'm doing or the rest of the room is doing. So I found it really quite off-putting and I found myself going into my head going, what is that guy doing? Why can't he just follow the routine? Why is he even in the room? And then I kept on bringing myself back to try and concentrate and focus and breathe and calm the body. And the whole time, this guy is doing an entirely different sequence. So at one point, we were lying down towards the end and just focusing on the breathing, the whole room silent. He's still doing his own routine, making all sorts of noises and breathing noises. And I started to go into my head thinking, what am I going to say to him? I'm going to have to say something to him. And then I thought, hang on. There's a little lesson to be learned here. And I realized that he might be there for a reason, teaching me something, because I'm someone who gets quite easily distracted. And, you know, there'll be a little ant running across the tabletop, and I'll be like, oh, look, little ant. What's this guy up to? And I'll stop what I'm doing. So I find myself getting distracted. So that was lesson one. I was thinking, bring myself back. And then I thought, there's another thing happening here. That is, it's not his job to please me. It's not his job in this world to make me feel good. And then I found myself thinking, this is quite a big lesson here, because a lot of the time we expect other people to act in a way which makes us feel good. So I was getting distracted by him. I was allowing him to distract me and upset my state of mind in this practice, which is really about mindfulness and getting connected inside, and helps you focus and concentrate and so many different things, but it's all about a practice to strengthen you in every single way, shape and form. So I'm allowing this guy, well, he's actually behind me, but I can see him in the mirror, to distract me in every kind of single way. And I had to bring myself back, realizing that he's really kind of giving me a lesson here. He's there for a reason. And the moment I started asking these better questions, instead of allowing myself to get irritated by him, I realized that was the lesson here. So it's very easy in our and then I kind of applied this to life. And I was thinking it's very easy to allow other people to put us into a state where in actual fact it's our own choice about how we respond, which might have the capacity to make us stressed or another negative emotion. So he's an external circumstance. I'm my own person. I'm allowing him to upset me. So this happens in other life. So it might be people who constantly put us into a rage or something, but it's actually our own choice. And it reminded me of a book which I read called Flow, Living at the Peak of Your Abilities by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. And he said, stress is an internal response to external strains, and which I thought was brilliant. And the way that we can often look at this is there could be two people faced with an external circumstance. One person can remain completely chilled, and the other person goes into what we might know as stressed. And it's really our own response internally to external strains that create suffering. So we can actually change suffering. We can actually take ourselves out of a suffering state by changing the meaning that we give to these things that happen around us all the time. So we now know that stress, for example, is one of the biggest how do I change, how to not sound so doom and gloom? It really triggers dis-ease in the body. And there's so much evidence and scientific evidence of it. What we're not being taught is how to actually manage our stress. And I've been very fortunate to have thrown myself at so many different kind of psychology trainings over here and transformational programs. And yeah, there's a lot of practice I do over here, which I'm bringing into the next copy of the book. The first book, by the way, The Vitality Secret, I touched on a lot of this emotional intelligence, whatever you want to call it. The next book is actually going to go into much further detail about how we can actually change the meaning that we give to events so we can calm the body and mind in any kind of stressful situation, how we can remain focused and not allow ourselves to get distracted. It's obviously a work in progress for me. It's just these are brilliant tools which I'm bringing into the book because ultimately we want to keep our body and mind and physicality in a really relaxed state as much as is feasibly possible. And that's all going into the next copy, the next edition of The Vitality Secret, which I'm now promoting for the final week. I have until Saturday to have 100 downloads, pre-orders to get picked up by a major publishing house. So if this kind of stuff that I've just spoken about resonates with you at all, or if it doesn't, but if you're curious, maybe you're just curious, I'd love you to pre-order a copy now to help this message get out to as many people as possible, along with the nutrition, the lifestyle, and all these other ways that we can actually heal our own bodies and become free of symptoms, pain, and medication. That's what my main mission is right now. We all have the power to heal, all of us. So we just need to change a few things and we can heal our own bodies. So if that's interesting, I'd love you to pre-order your book now, and I'll see you in another video. Cheers.